during the course of the meeting. First, please put yourself on mute when you are not speaking. Second, don't interrupt while someone is speaking. Before wanted to move during the meeting, please turn off the camera. Third, please be mindful of addressing sex, religion, politics during the meeting. Fourth, be attentive throughout the meeting. Support and encourage fellow speakers by turning on your camera, warm smileys, and claps. You can use the Zoom reaction buttons to express yourself during the meeting. So, as you are aware, everyone has a mission in life, and similarly, our trust has a mission. So, it is to provide mutual supportive environment to each member of club to develop the leadership and communication skills, which help them boost self-confidence and personal growth. So, today's topic is for a forest to be green, each tree must be green. It suggests that overall health and appearance of the forest is directly linked to the health and appearance of each individual tree in it. If even a single tree is unhealthy, lacking the color, it can negatively affect the appearance of the entire forest. This statement highlights that the importance of taking care of each individual component in larger system. So now let me welcome presiding officer of the day.
Thank you, Sergeant Toastmaster Pranav, for setting up the context of this meeting. And good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today? You guys look sleepy. I was sleepy, it's too hot. I'm not able to sleep in the night, so I believe it's the same case with all of you. How are the people doing online? You can unmute yourself now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning,
everyone.
Tanmay.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, please know where are all the people joining in online are from. I know Venkat is joining from Bihar, Sankhya from Gurgaon, and we have a couple other folks in the meeting. Please take seats. Right. Let me just change the layout of the screen. Just give me a second so that everyone is visible to everyone. Perfect. Okay. If you guys can move it there. So we have a lot of folks in the meeting room today. I see that we have people online as well. How many folks do we have today? Let's take a hand on the 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. We are on 15 people in the room, and that's a good number for us. But use round of applause for everyone to wait up to the coming. Now, you all are here. So how many of you, let me ask you a simple question. How many of you are coming for a Toastmasters meeting for the very first time? 1, 2, 3. How many of you are coming for a Toastmasters meeting for the very first time in the last 2 years? Okay, all right. So we have 3 new folks and then some other folks who have joined Toastmasters meeting in the past. Perfect. So before we move further into the meeting and go towards the agenda of today's meeting, let us go a bit towards Toastmasters. What is Toastmasters? So any of the experienced folks who have not raised their hands, can you please tell me what is Toastmasters? And ask you, what is Toastmasters?
It's a community wherein people help each other. Yeah, it's a community wherein people help each other, build their public speaking skills, leadership skills, and overall understanding.
Wonderful. Oh, perfect. So we have an answer that what is Toastmasters. It's a non-profit organization focused towards improving your public speaking and leadership skills and your journey in this public speaking domain. This organization was started by a gentleman called Francis Stanley in the year 1920. We are in the 99th year of this, or we wait a century in the next year. And this gentleman started this club at YMCA, California, and since then, Toastmasters spread across multiple countries with thousands of members. And people like us, clubs like us, who are a small fragment of this bigger ecosystem, who are coming together every alternate week, every week, making sure that we all come together to this peer-focused learning group and learn from each other. Also, overcome our inner demons of our shy and fear of public speaking, which in turn will also help you improve yourself in your corporate and personal journey as well. But we are here, so can you guys tell me which club is this? You have come to this club. Which club is this? Anyone?
What does it do?
What is the name of this?
Speakers, dens, Toastmasters.
Yes, and then everyone name? Abhishek. So Abhishek is right now. It says Speakers and Toastmasters Club. And to tell you more about this club, we started back in 2012, and it's been more than a decade now. And we all are here, year after year, days after days, weeks after week, to ensure we all are learning from each other. And this club has had a lot of amazing Toastmasters in the past who have gone till the international forum as well, like of the international speech competitions, evaluation contests, and whatnot. And today we are here for this meeting number 318. And now I would like to officially start this meeting. The bang of this pen as gathered, and the meeting number 318 is officially in session. And please have a big round of applause. Now, while I see that there are so many eyes staring at me, like I have some piece of meat hanging by the chair, and then there are activities around me. So why not let me start asking the activities about themselves? So, folks, I'm going to request all of the folks, all of the guests who are there. So we have a couple of people. We have members, we have external Toastmasters, and we have guests who are coming for speakers and who are not official member of Toastmasters, but are here to include themselves. So I would like to start this round of introduction. And let me set some boundaries. You will have 20 seconds. You will have 3 questions to answer. So choose your words carefully. Tell us about your name. I'll start with your name. Okay. Tell us about yourself. How do you come to know about speakers and Toastmasters? And what do you want to achieve by coming here today? By waking up on a Sunday, you could be having breakfast in bed. All right. And I will start with the person I met for the very first time in the morning, Sangeeta. Sangeeta, if you can please come here. Sangeeta is a guest. I just met her in the lobby. And can you please answer these 3 questions? Hello? Yes. Yes.
My name is Sangeeta. I'm a member of Focus in Bangladesh. I've been how I found out more speakers and so my love convenes on Thursdays afternoon. Sometimes it's good for me to attend. So I'm looking forward to attending an event on the weekends and how
What do you want to achieve after coming here?
so I was hoping to so I already a part but I wanted to expand so that I meet more people, and it's also a bit more difficult for me to speak in front of more people because once you attend more events, stuff will become friendly and you don't get like as feeling that fear is gone. So that's so I want to expand that.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Sangeeta, for coming to this unfriendly environment in your words. So, yes, and that will be that. Next, may I please invite? There's someone at the door? Toastmasters?
Yeah.
Yes, please come. Okay, okay. So, yes, who would like to go next? Now you know. All right, Amisha. Come. Amisha, welcome to the club. Please introduce yourself.
So, hi everyone. My name is Avisha Sachin Harare. I'm basically from Pune, currently doing my CS application in Bangalore. So, when I was in Pune, I was a part of this organization called ESL. There we create the student entrepreneurs. There is one of my friends who told me he was very wonderful at public relations. He was the member of Toastmaster Club. He told me it's very wonderful for you to improve your communication in public relations. So apparently, when I came in Bangalore, I felt like I want to be the best version of myself. I have to do something for that.
I hope you have a wonderful time here in Welcome to the club. Next, may I invite who wants to go next? Russian Doles. Gaurav. Welcome to the club.
Thank you. Hi everyone, myself Gaurav. So I have actually attended a couple of meetings, online sessions before. And this is my first time offline here. So the reason I'm here is because, as you move further, it might be college, school and everything, you notice one thing is that the person who speaks the best is someone like, who is a step ahead. So that was one place where I was lagging. I thought I should join a community wherein I grow at this part. So that's why I'm here. Thank you.
And this is the first time I speak with any responses or. Yes, I think I see you. Thank you, Gaurav. Next, may I please invite Karan to keep the introduction brief because we know what you have in store for us.
Yeah, so hi everyone, myself Karan and this is my second visit here. I had my previous visit was around 2 weeks before. I had come here as a guest. Yeah, talking about the objective of coming here is that I like to interact with many people and I feel that as much as I go to many other sites and stay more in these regions.
You Karan. Now, may I please invite Aman to introduce yourself?
So my name is Aman Raj.
In January, I was working as a Java backend developer. So actually, when I was in Bihar, so my communication was not good, so I was struggling in internships. So that time I was trying to find some clubs where I can participate and grow myself and learn speaking. So that time I found a market club. Didn't have a lot of sessions there, but that time I was preparing for. So that's why after coming to Bangalore, I started searching for some clubs of course master also I could very near to my where I live currently. So I think it will help me to grow my speaking and speech.
Thank you very much for stepping up to overcome this fear because that yes, you can show. Now may I please request your name? Yogita, welcome to the club. Please introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. So I'm Yogita Daswani. I belong from Madhya Pradesh, Ujjain, if any of you know.
No.
Indra,
Anyone else?
So I am here to overcome my fear of public speaking and to sell myself in a better way because the world is who speaks, who express themselves. So for that reason.
May I please know Pragya?
Yeah.
Pragya.
Yeah.
Interesting. Can you please introduce yourself?
So hi guys, my name is Pradya. I live in Pune. So I'm studying currently in St. Joseph College of Law. I'm doing BBA LLB. So I just came here to learn new experience, like to learn to talk to people and just rather than sitting at home Sunday doing nothing, can do something at least.
Who else? May I please know your name? Sami. Can you please introduce yourself to the club?
I'm sorry. I'm from Karnataka, North Karnataka. I work as an architect, but I'm still struggling to express myself. That is the hindrance for next promotion or whatever I'm being for this thing. I came here to get rid of fear and that is all.
Now, I will go to the online course and I see that we have Suresh. Suresh, can you please unmute yourself and introduce yourself to the club?
Hi, can you able to hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, good morning. This is Suresh Angdi and this is second time of being a guest here. And I would like to improve my communication skills. So that's a motto to attend the meeting. Thank you very much.
thank you. Suresh. Next, we have Ankur. Ankur, can you please unmute yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm Ankur and I am an architectural, I can say I'm an architectural designer, not yet an architecture. I don't have a license yet. That's why I say that. So, yeah, I am originally from Haryana and Punjabi family in Bangalore right now attending your meeting because I loved the title of the caption. I couldn't, theme is about trees, right? That's why. And my name is Ankur. Ankur actually is a sprout. So when a sprout grows, it becomes a tree. So that's why I'm here.
So you have to show up anyways.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Ankur. Thank you very much for that. We also have Naveen. Naveen, if it is possible, please come on camera and make yourself introduce. Naveen, are you able to hear us? I believe there are some challenges. We will circle back to you, Naveen. Now we have one last very special member in today's meeting. A member who I have to chase to please come to this meeting. So may I please request one of the most prominent Toastmasters in the District 92, an ex-Toastmasters, but he's here today on my request to help us understand Toastmasters in a better manner and share his wisdom, his years of experience with all of us today. And he has agreed to observe this meeting in unofficial capacity to help us understand how we can make this meeting better, how can we learn from his experience. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ramesh.
Morning, everyone. Nice to be here. I'm Ramesh. Yes, name. I happened to join Toastmasters in 1999. I've been part of Toastmasters till 2021. I took a break to pursue my passion, reading literature and doing a PhD. So, because one of the Toastmaster promises you have to complete is first promise we make when you become a member. So I bring guests to the club, give you speeches regularly, give you evaluations, take part in the Toastmaster proceedings, take up leadership roles. So there are 10 promises we make, and I decided I found that I could even keep confidence. But pursue my idea. So I need to take a break so that I don't default on my promise. But speakers did, I cannot say no, because I was here for the demo meeting for the speakers then, before it was started, and I was here for the charter meeting, and now I am here for the 318th meeting. It should happen in Muzana after the started. So let's move over to Paris. So from Muzana to Paris, it's a nice place. And what am I going to do here? What I want to do? Just to share my experience of those partners, what it means to me. What it means to me, you are right. What it means to me is what I can share. In the process, we may all find out what it means to others. While we require a license for architect, we don't require a license for those partners. So I'm going to the right place. Without license, we can speak. Okay. Thank you. I'm back to you.
All right, bring up your share your wisdom. This is someone just joined Bandit. And it will be possible for you to come on camera and mute yourself. Before we move for, all right, I think Bandit, you have to circle back later. So for the benefit of the guests, let me make one announcement at the start of the meeting that please stay till the end of the meeting to benefit the most. Usually we have a meeting where we have 3 sections of prepared speeches, a table topic session, and an evaluation session. But today, this meeting is a little special. Today we are going to have back-to-back speeches, 5 speeches, and there will be evaluation. So today it might not, you might not get a chance to speak, but there is a lot that you can learn from these budding speakers who are attempting their first speeches, and some of them are attending their, they have attended multiple speeches in the past. With this, without inquiring further on the topic or theme of today's meeting, I would like to invite today's Toastmaster of the day. A person who always brings in a positive energy to this class meeting, whose themes are always out of the park, and he always brings in new ideas, new perspective, a new lens for you to view them. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Abhishek. Toastmaster Abhishek.
Toastmaster Tanmay, just check if the audio's connection is attached with the.
Let me check. Let me check.
Microphone.
Just give me a second. Let me check the audio connection. Can you please do a testing? My testing. My 51 2 3.
No, it's still- Yeah.
Yeah,
We can
bit of
hear
echo, that's it for me.
echo, yeah.
Abhishek, before I give it to you, I just missed one person, very important person to this meeting. So first, I have to take this back. You have to hear me further. So I would like to announce that there is a new member joining us today in today's meeting. A new member to the speaker stand, and she is in today's meeting. So may I please request everyone to welcome Toastmaster Pragya. Toastmaster Pragya Rao. Very warm welcome to the club. Now we are meeting you. Can you please introduce yourself to the club as the most recent Toastmaster of this club?
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. I am Pragya, and I am joining you from Bangalore, and I work in a consulting firm. And so, yeah, this is I have joined Speakers Den Toastmasters as a guest for a couple of sessions, and this is my first session as a member, and I'm pretty excited and thrilled to join it. And as everybody mentioned, we are all on our journey to overcome this fear of public speaking. So I'm as well. And yeah, I'm really happy to join, and I can't wait to get started on this journey. So yeah, I'm very happy to join all of you.
We're happy to have you here and see that as a guest to see the professional benefit that you can get, and you can so welcome to the club, and with this I give the meeting to go back to Toastmasters. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. So today's theme is for a forest to be green, each tree must be green. So what do you understand by that? Anyone? Any idea? Anyone? Go to Government Park. Just think. So this was a statement made by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who was Guru of Sri Sri Ravi Shankar and Master of Transcendental Meditation. So he told that similar way the forest to be green, each tree must be green. So for the world peace, each person should tend to themselves for inner peace. And inner peace, I mean to say inner peace and inner pleasure. So anyone can say what do they understand by inner peace or inner pleasure?
And yes, that's usefully at the end of the day and satisfied what you
So how do you think that will impact the whole society? It can be transformation among everyone, everything.
Us being in a phase is different in society.
I will elaborate. Anyone?
One would be Not devoid of any negative thinking and feelings, and also devoid of any potentials. Because once you're devoid of all this, then you have positivity in you, and you can make a good society.
Any audience from online session? Any guess?
Maybe, like you accept what you have, you be content with what you have. You buy or you want things that you need and not for your greed. So that way, there's more for people and you're not just like taking away resources. So if you're content and if you're peaceful, then there's more for others, and as long as everyone is peaceful with themselves, then I mean that's what it means.
Okay, sir. So, with your any views?
Yeah, the very feeling that I'm also okay and you are also okay.
Yeah.
Okay, when I feel that I am okay and the world is okay, I accept you for what you are, because I accept myself for what I am. Peaceful state is that, because we all have a unity in terms of in terms of knowledge, in terms of money, in terms of ability to speak. Irrespective of it, can I accept Aman to be as good as me? If I can accept him, then I am okay with it.
So I will describe a couple of examples and some of the instances, like how inner peace will help and how it can impact the whole society. So for instance, like you develop inner peace when you are in alpha mode of vibration. So when you do certain things, then you are in theta mode, like beta, I think beta mode, beta vibration. So you react to anything. Suppose someone suddenly comes, he started like verbally abusing you. So you will respond to them, correct? You respond to them. But when you're in alpha mode, or when you're in alpha and delta and some other vibration, then your awareness will be within yourself and the negative energy will not impact you. So the benefits will be, huge benefits will be there. For example, you'll have better decision making. You will have control on your different senses. Like you can control the energy of, like if you're jealous with someone, you can control that also. You can control your anger. You can be self-satisfied and you'll not be biased. So a lot of time it happened for me also, like while working in office, some from on-site, they started like this, you have to do this, you have to complete very fast something. They started like 12 hours, 14 hours. So and the one time I responded very arrogantly. Then they also responded, I also responded. Then later down the line, what I did that, because I do some lot of exercise, breathing, yoga, all these things. So the humming techniques are there, Om and other things are there. If you practice certain techniques, breathing and all these things it will take 1.5 or 2 hours. After that, you just feel the aura. You feel like nothing will impact you. The aura will be positive. And if someone, because I have seen one day if I practice and other day if I don't practice, same person, he is telling the same thing, but I'm responding differently. So that is one thing which you will feel the benefit for your overall development. But in terms of society, the whole thing, if you see, if you take the example of judiciary. So can anyone tell how many cases are pending in the Indian judiciary? How many lakhs of cases are pending? 10 lakhs. And what is the reason?
Less number of judges.
Less
number of judges.
Yeah, that can be a reason. That I'm not 100% sure. The main thing, if you see whatever education system is there, if you just think of our education system, everything, they are imparting just the knowledge, not the wisdom. So if you take an example of one politician, if you want, I can tell a name also. He's from IT and he has done IAS also, Arvind Kejriwal. So some of his statements is mostly biased. Some of his statements are biased and not to the point. And if you see our Chief Justice of India, his statement is also biased, and some of his, if you dig deeper and down and try to find it out, some of his whatever judgment he has given, that is biased and not to the point. Because when you read thoroughly, similarly you can see Arundhati Roy. She got Booker's Prize. She is so much famous, everything. But why that same knowledge, same education system is not providing the wisdom? Anyone?
Biased, I mean, it's from not the primary to secondary. There's a lot of gap between the education, the format it is.
It's not about primary to secondary. It's mostly, if you compare the same thing with, have you heard of Tenali Rama or Vijayanagar Empire? You are from Karnataka, you must learn. So have you seen any serial of Tenali Rama? And have you seen what judgment he makes? The way he decides, because in Setmax, their serial, 1,000 episodes are there. Just watch those serials. And you will find out the judgment he will make from inner wisdom. Because when you meditate, when you do lot of inner satisfaction, the inner peace when you get, then you will not be biased. You will make a better judgment. Because you will have you will seek knowledge from your true self. You'll get something, you can say you will get some inner calling that this is right, this is wrong. And there's a famous statement also, like from one of the old sages, someone told that no one knows what is right. No one knows what is wrong. There's a deity residing within you, find it out and obey its command. So the whole Indian philosophy revolved around finding ourselves from our inner deity or inner happiness, from there bringing out those things. So what I observed from the Tenali Rama, that because he has knowledge of all these different texts and different meditation things, all these things, so he was able to make a judgment in proper, without bias, without anything. You can see all these things like Vikramaditya, Vikram Betal serial, it used to come. You can see the judgment, and you can see the present judgment, present people. So the whole thing is because people, they are not focusing on their inner peace, inner enjoyment. So if you focus inner peace, inner enjoyment, then that can remove corruption also. Can anyone think how it can remove corruption?
If one would be content with the means that they have,
Correct.
they would not pay for more.
Yeah. So just you can try, because you are youth, just try for 2 months or 2 or 3 months, visit Sri Ravi Shankar, those ashrams. Just try for yoga meditation. So you will see that whatever you have, you will feel 60-70% content. So you will not run after outer money or outer experience. And if you think that people outside India, they are very much content, everything, read one book, Dopamine Nation. In the YouTube, we can search. So people in Norway, other places, there are a lot of suicide is very high. You know what is the reason? Just read that book in the YouTube, you can search Dopamine Nation. So whenever we do some pleasurable activity, that creates negative addiction, keeps on addiction, like you're taking cocaine, everything, whatever pleasure you're getting from pornography, everything. So that will create addiction, it will keep on increasing, and they'll want more addiction. And ultimately, they will crave for more. So wiring will crave for more, and that all the people from the West, from there, it's coming that they are coming to old Indian practice, which is breathing, yoga, meditation. If you see in US, people in India, they don't follow, but they are the yoga classes, all the foreigners, they are only teaching yoga. So that is the main reason. So at least in today's society, we can balance some 50 to 60% inner pleasure. I will say inner pleasure because you can try, because it will be, if you balance some inner pleasure, then you will not run after outer things more. That's what I observed, because a lot of people earlier, there a lot of debate was there. People, they were telling that Earth is square. You know that one? So Earth was square, people, they were debating Earth was square, they did not find out. But how did they find out? Or how you can tell that Earth is round? Anyone?
By scientific procedures.
Galileo found out first in 16th century. Galileo Galilei.
Started sailing.
Just before that, ancient sage in India, they found out. It's from Hinduism, they only told. So you should learn about
Yeah, exactly.
history, ancient sages, what they have done. So so it's not about that what found out. So when you go from like some people, if they travel to space in the orbit, then from there they'll observe the Earth is round. So what they have created, if you go from Earth to space, then what is that you have created from Earth to space? No, within yourself, space. Correct. So, and the whole mechanism is the whole yoga, whole breathing, whole meditation, creating space in the body. So when you create space in your body through breathing, a yoga, meditation, everything, then the way you view the world, that will be entirely different. And that will be the experience, you'll get different experience. So with that in mind, I will move on to our next session, which is I would like to call our tag teams. And before that, I'll just want to make announcement that today we don't have any GE, and for all the observation, all the feedback, we have DTM Mr. Ramesh. He'll be making all the observations. And for tag team, I like to call Toastmaster Tanmay as a timer. So please.
There is a little change in the timer would be Toastmaster Sankhya and I
Okay.
would be the grammarian.
Okay, thanks. So over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. So as the timer for today's meeting, I will be time the speeches, the evaluations. So for the speeches, ideally we have it for 5 to 7 minutes. And when it is, which means that you need to speak a minimum of 5 minutes and a maximum of 7 minutes. But there is a grace period of 30 seconds. Now, when it is time for 5 minutes, so I'll be changing the background of my Zoom and it will be reflected in as the green. Now, once it turns through 6 minutes, so it will be at yellow, and at 7 minutes, it will turn to red. And there will be a buffer of 30 seconds, as I mentioned, but there will be no extra indication if in case your timing has exceeded. And similarly for the evaluation as well, the timing will be 2 to 3 minutes, which means at 2 minutes, I'll show the green card, at 2 minutes 30 seconds, the yellow, and at 3 minutes, the red. And again, there is a buffer of 30 seconds. With that, I would like to pass on the baton to Toastmaster Abhishek.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. And next we have our accountant grammarian, Toastmaster Tanmay.
That is just a second.
Okay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek, for calling me out for the role of the accountant and the grammarian. As the role of accountant and grammarian, my duties involve to make notice of any.
Toastmaster Tanmay, the
Yes.
counter will be Toastmaster Pragya.
Oh, all right. All right. Then may I please request Toastmaster Pragya to take the role of the counter? There have been some last minute changes. Apologies, everyone. Toastmaster Pragya, over to you.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'll be playing the role of the R counter. So basically I'll just brief you on what will be the purpose of this role. So I would note down any overused words or filler sounds, which all the speakers would be using while giving their speech. I'll just give you an example of these, the pause words, that is and, but, so, So let's try to avoid that. But yeah, I'll keep a record on that. And at the end of the meeting, we will give you a report of how many words, how many such filler words have been used by all the speakers. So, yeah, over to you, Tanmay.
Okay, next we have grammarian Toastmaster Tanmay.
Thank you, Abhishek. And as a grammarian, I would be taking note of everyone's speech today and taking note of the good usage of grammar and some not so good usage. And at the end of the meeting, I would be recalling all of them when called upon by our observer and general evaluator of today's meeting, Mr. Ramesh. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Abhishek. Toastmaster.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay. And with that, I'll move on to our speech session, which is on, I'd like to call our first speaker, who is by HR by profession, and Toastmaster Lalita. Before that, I'd like to call evaluator Toastmaster Minal to introduce about the,
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Hello, everyone. Good morning. So, the purpose of the speech for the speaker one today is to understand the different type of persuasive speeches. As an evaluator for the speaker one, I would be keen to understand how well structured the content and content of the speech is going to be. And not just that, I would also be inclined towards understanding how are the different key granularities of a speech, which is the vocal variety, the gestures, the notes of the speech, the notes of the voice that she's going to be using, the clarity. But most importantly, because this is the speech is more about the persuasive speaking, I would be, interested in knowing if at all the speaker is able to persuade the audience with the subject that he or she has chosen. So with that, I would like to wish luck Toastmaster Lalita for her speech today.
Also,
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenal.
evaluator, sorry to interrupt. Can you please confirm the timing of the speech as well?
5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Please join me to welcome Toastmaster Lalita.
This Am I audible? Can you hear me? I mean, I don't know that.
Yes, Lalita, we can hear you.
Audible, Sankhya?
Yes, absolutely fine.
Right. So good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So I just received a notification on my mobile to drink water. So how many of you have water tracking app on your mobile? Anyone? Okay. So most of them are having this water tracking app on their mobiles. So this has become a trend to measure the hydration levels. And I also follow this trend. So I normally keep water bottle by my side and I drink water very often. But at times, this becomes a burden to me when I'm not able to keep up with this. And at the same time, I start feeling guilty because I've read on internet the numerous benefits of drinking water. So can anyone say what are the benefits of drinking water?
It gives you, yes,
Okay.
hydrated.
Right.
Glows.
Detoxification.
My skin grows. I've inculcated this habit and my skin has been glowing now.
Right. So there are many benefits. Like one is like it gives you a healthy skin. Second thing is like it helps to get rid of toxins. And the third one is like it also aids in weight loss. But just think about it. Is water alone responsible for giving a healthy skin? No. It's rather the food enriched with vitamin A. And even the healthy diet can help you get rid of toxins, but not water alone. So how does water help in weight loss? So when you drink more water, you feel fuller, and in this way you eat lesser. So this reduces the calorie intake, but water does not definitely help in removing the existing fat. So how many glasses of water do you normally drink? Okay. Any other answers? But okay. So in internet, if you search, they say you have to drink around 6 to 8 glasses of water. So there's a history behind this. So in 1974, there was a book which was published, Nutrition for Good Health. In that book, the author recommended drinking 6 to 8 glasses of water. But however, he said, you should, this is also including the fluids from fruits and vegetables, from beverages, soft drinks. But however, only 6 to 8 glasses of water has been taken into consideration by everyone. So it's very hard to recommend the exact amount of water because it depends on various factors such as age, then the energy level, climate, diet, lifestyle. So I'll talk about one by one. So age. So different age groups have different water requirements. For example, children, they need more amount of water compared to adults because children, they run around a lot, and in order to maintain that energy level, they need more water. And the second is activity level. So a person doing exercises or playing sports, they will require more amount of water compared to a person working in office. That's because when you play or when you do exercise, like you sweat. And when you sweat, like where water evaporates from your body and you lose fluids. And in order to replace that fluids, more amount of water is required. Then the third is the climate. Climate plays a major role. Like for example, if you're in a hot climate, you will require more amount of water in order to regulate the body temperature compared to the colder climates. Now, I know you might be wondering if it's not that 6 to 8 glasses of water. So how much water is actually required? Trust me, your body has a way of telling it. So thirst is a reliable indicator of when to drink water. Just think about it. We sleep only when we feel sleepy, or we go to toilet only if there is a reason. So the same technique can be used when you are drinking water. So when you feel thirsty, so simply drink water. So do you also know that there are negative effects of drinking water? Any answers? Okay. Any other answers? Okay.
Get out of the bed. The cold.
Yeah, there would be pressure on your kidney to filter impurities.
Yeah, diabetic patients do have to calculate and then drink. That's true.
Yes. So there are negative consequences of water. So there's a term named as hypothermia. So this occurs when you drink more water. What happens? Like the electrolytes in your body, it gets flushed out. So this, if it becomes excess, like it leads to swelling of brain, then swelling of liver, and you get headache. And in severe cases, it also results in death. So with this, the key takeaway is to be mindful and listen to your body's signals regarding your water intake. So you are the best person to understand your body. So knowing how your body works and developing healthy benefits will add values to your life. So just take a moment before you drink water. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lita, for a wonderful speech. And with that, we can take 2 minutes break also, water break. Yeah.
Must needed.
Most needed. Yeah.
So guys, there's water.
Timer, please note down the time. 2 minutes.
Sure.
I'll also.
Sorry?
Yeah, there's a compartment there, but it is for lifting in protein.
Isn't 2 minutes too high to drink water? We don't want to bloat. Huh?
Sorry, Ankur, you were saying something.
I'm saying, isn't 2 minutes too high, too much to drink water? Just a few seconds are enough.
It's a water break. Please feel free to use as you see fit. To intake or outlet.
Then it should be a bio break now.
Yes, Mansi, you're right. We can rehearse.
sometimes we have a feeling that they don't have a feeling.
So Toastmaster Sankar, is the time up? Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. So we'll move on to our next speaker, who is Toastmaster Karan. So Toastmaster Karan has total 6 years of work experience, and he works at customer support service and he's excited to meet new people. His title is My Journey, and it's an icebreaker speech. So before that, I would like to call his evaluator, Toastmaster Assis. So over to you, Toastmaster Assis.
Alex is not present in today's meeting.
So,
Let them, I will take it.
okay.
I will be taking the Bible for Karan. Speech title is.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. My target speaker, Toastmaster Karan, would be attempting his presentation mastery level 1 icebreaker speech, and his title is My Journey. The timing of the speech would be 4 to 6 minute timer. Please take note, and he would be evaluated basis. His objective would be to provide his first speech in his own style, to introduce himself to the club, to the member, so that we will get to know more about him as an icebreaker. And he will be evaluated on clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gestures, audience awareness, comfort level, and interest of the audience. With this, I wish best of luck to my target speaker, and back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay. And I think Toastmaster Karan is there. Okay. Please join me to welcome Toastmaster Karan.
You want to get this one?
That's okay.
15th of August, 1991, when the whole nation was celebrating its Independence Day. But there was one couple who just could not celebrate. Something was bothering the lady. She felt slight pain, and the pain started to increase. They had to go to the hospital. And then they got a Independence Day gift in the form of a baby boy who was very light in weight. And it was an auspicious day for both of them, since the baby's father also wasn't working in the same hospital where he was born. Then the time came to keep a name of the baby. But the mother had already thought a name, and it could not be a better name than great character of Mahabharata, Karan. Yes, Toastmasters and my dear friends, here I am. Now, from childhood till now, my journey has been remarkable. I grew up in a Kashmiri family in Delhi. My father is a doctor. My mother is a homemaker. And I have a younger sister who's also currently working. Since childhood till now, I had many career growth aspirations. I hope everybody of you in your childhood must have been asked that, what do you want to grow what do you want to become when you grow up, right? Similarly, even I also had many career options. My first objective was to become a police officer. And it was due to the fact that police officers are very well trained to fight the criminals, but it wasn't in real life. I was a very big fan of Akshay Kumar in his early days, and in most of his movies, he used to be a police officer. The way he used to kick and he used to punch. And in one of the movies where he played a police officer, his character's name was Karan. And that inspired me to become a police officer. I also wanted to become a detective. The reason being that I used to love that adrenaline rush in me while trying to see how the murder mysteries are being solved. And I used to love Sherlock Holmes novels. Now, to test that, my relatives once gave me a case. And that case was that some of the cash was missing from his pocket. It was my responsibility to find out who the culprit was. So I implied my own ways. I questioned every member of the house, asked them questions, tried my own investigating skills. Kuch to hai, kuch to hai. And finally, I found out the culprit. And it was none other than his wife, who was my aunt. She had taken the cash away from him. But then I realized that both this police and detective involves a lot of crime. So hence I had to drop this idea. Then my next objective was to become an engineer, because I was very good in science, and as well as one more subject, maths. How many of you liked maths in your school days? I have something very important to say, which I'll be communicating in the later part of the speech. I used to be very good in maths and as well as science, and even scoring the highest in 10th in science. I was done with science. So I took up commerce in 11th. I got accustomed to now new subjects, accountancy for business, debit what comes in, credit what goes out, debit the receiver, credit the giver. And as soon as I reached college, I somehow realized when I again got accustomed to accounts and maths, I wasn't able to score well. I then realized that my thinking that I was very good in maths and science, it was only because I used to have tuitions in maths and science. Without tuitions, I was not able to do it. I then realized maths means MATHS, Meri Atma Tujhe Hamesha Satayegi, which means in English that my soul will always haunt you. And it did happen. Even after 10th, when I left maths, it still haunted me in 11th in the form of accountancy. Again in college in the form of business maths, economics. That is the reason this was a problem. I then had a very tough time to decide what actually I want to take. Then in MBA, I finally got what I wanted to be, and that is, I took marketing. And marketing is all about interacting with people, helping people. And for that, then I have worked in the field of customer support and sales, wherein I got to know a lot of people, interacted with them, and that's my nature of helping people. Also, I have also realized that I was also very shy to talk to people, but then I recovered that. It is generally said that whenever you are happy, you like to share your happiness with people, and whenever you are sad, and if you discuss that something with some people, you feel relieved. And in MBA, I realized that I can do the same thing professionally. And that's how I came to know about a public speaking forum, wherein you can give speeches, you can share your thoughts and views. That's how I came to know about Toastmasters. From then, I did not even stay fixed to my college. I ventured out. I ventured into Infosys, Siemens, and many other Toastmasters clubs from that time. And then I had joined LA 1924 Toastmasters Club, which is in MG Road. And from that time, it has been a remarkable journey, no looking back. I completed my CC journey, and then I started my pathways. I hope that the way my journey has been remarkable till now, I hope that it will be more remarkable in the coming years, because there is no age of learning. Always there's a new experience, and always there are many life lessons. Thank you. Over to you.
Please request everyone to give a standing
Standing ovation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karan, for a wonderful speech and some insight also. Before I move on to next speaker, just one line I want to add, that just focus on process of work and enjoy the work. That will also help. Yeah. And I'll move on to our next speaker, who is Toastmaster Anjani. He is working as Army officer and also preparing for SSC for higher official grade. And he is very enthusiastic in sports, participated in different sports activity within the Army. So please join me to welcome Toastmaster Anjani. But before that, I would like to call his evaluated Toastmaster Vishal. So over to you, Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek.
My target speaker is Anjani. I would like Toastmaster Anjani to please switch on your video camera and let's have a quick check of your audio and video. Anjani, could you please speak something?
Yes, sir. Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible. And are you able to see the timer's card or the timer's background right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great. So the objective of Toastmaster Anjani's speech is to review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. So this is the objective. Toastmaster Anjani, I would like to hand over the stage to you. And the title for Toastmasters Anjani speech is Consistency is the key to success. Consistency is the key to success. Toastmaster Anjani.
Okay. So, shall I start, sir? Or should I correct my information, sir?
You can start, Toastmaster Anjani.
Okay, sir. So, good morning, Toastmaster and fellows. So, today my topic is consistency is key to success. In modern world, where young generation just they want to give effort only for 1 month and achieve the success. Whereas we read in every books that consistency is required to achieve the success. Whereas in Martin Luther King book, he mentioned that consistency is the only way to achieve the success. There are 3 words we need to be focused with the consistency: slow, consistent, and action. With these 3 steps, it helps to achieve the success. Consistency. So when I was in class 10, I was not good in studies, as I just somehow able to pass the exam. But my friends suggested me to go through the various books and guide to get the information. But no one showed me the right path. They just give me the books, go through the point, learn well, and give the exam. But it was not helping me. I just somehow able to pass the class 10th. But in 11th, I was not doing good in academics. My friend and one friend and senior assisted me to say, be consistent in your work. Do at least 1 hour practice in a day. Never skip your work, which it helped me. I just referred to one book and used to study always, which it helps me to get the good marks. As I said, information said that Indian Army, but Indian Army I joined as not an officer, as a soldier, young soldier. So actually I just joined Indian Army in mid of first 12th. But everyone knows that for joining the Indian Army, you need to be physically fit. But as I was in a school, but I was not in a physical state or practiced well to get selected, but only consistency. In previous speech, I have mentioned that I used to play the sports and I'm interested in athletics, where it helps me to cross the hurdles of the physical task. I completed all the tasks which is required for the qualification of being a young soldier. So I want to give an example. Can anybody say the example of being consistent? Sorry.
Anyone?
As we see, Toastmaster, our own club, never miss the class on Sunday, is consistent. It helps us to improve our vocabulary and give confidence to speak in front of various people, new peoples. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Toastmaster Bisal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anjani, for a wonderful speech. And With that, I'd like to move on to our next speaker, who is Toastmaster Mansi, and she's business analyst at Alliance Technology Kharadi and social service enthusiast, along with freelancing. And hobbies are interest painting, chai cooler and bottles, traveling for adventure, origami and dancing. Little bit about family, constantly nagging about why she is single. Husband should be budding photographer in her dreams. All the NGO teaching she has given to my children of society, but none's mother. Yeah. So with that, before I move on to the speaker, I'd like to call the evaluator Toastmaster Sankhya. So over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. So as the evaluator for Toastmaster Mansi, the objective of this project is for the member to identify her primary leadership styles. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her primary leadership style or discuss the leadership styles in general. So with this, I would wish all the best to the speaker.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. And title is backed it. So over to you, Toastmaster Mansi.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day and the evaluator, for giving me this opportunity to express my views. And let me know how many of you can relate to this object. I mean, it's not a female-male thing. I do have, just raise a hand, a quick raise of hand. Yeah, I see 2 to 3. Okay. So it all started on my CSR journey on 10th of March 2021, where I went for this plant tree initiative as a CSR enthusiast. So everybody thought, especially the ladies in my organization, it's a picnic. We've kept everything inside this where I can fill, I don't know what not, my makeup item, my charger, my papers, everything. When I landed, throughout my journey in my cab, we reached in some areas of outskirts of Pune over a terrain where this plant tree drive was going on. And within that journey, I saw a primary school. My driver, he's lost, and he said, "Madam, I don't know where to go. I just see a primary school. That's what the place they gave me. And there's nobody today. It's Sunday." I said, let's focus on the place where we need to go and move ahead. And it's already empty. He said that it's already empty. I said, I was desensitized. He said, who goes and teaches or works on Sundays? You IT people, I know. And he started nagging constantly about it. I said, let's move ahead. I gulped some water. We went to the place where it was to be planted. What I see there is a row of saplings placed with the name of each employee. And the saplings were given to every person to start planting. I, being a very quick observer, started looking into the saplings. I found mine. What was it? It was a tree with a bag in the sapling. That is where my thoughts started going towards, it's something which is plastic. Next day, I started Googling everything. What I learned was this chemical known as phthalate. Has anyone heard about it? Okay, I think it's new to most of us. So this is a chemical which is one of the most widespread used across the globe. And where is it? It's in my bag. I started scratching my head while reading through it, and I thought, it's in my mousse, my makeup item. It's in my hairspray. It's in the sapling, that bag. It's the plastic bag. So every plastic item, every food packaged item has phallic. I took a deep breath, moved ahead. So born in a family who always carries a pump and thinks beyond to go to any altitude, reason being this chemical. One of the major contributor which is there on the street. And by 2025, my Google Baba tells me, we'll be filled with 445.25 million trillion metric tons on the streets with this chemical. So what I did was, today itself, I'm asking for a simple dustbin bag. My house help gives me this. Okay, now what to do next? I started inside me, what can I change? My bag today contains a simple paper bag and a simple PVC bag. All these are in it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a choice. It's a culture to cultivate. I bagged it. Are you ready to bag it? Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi, for a wonderful speech. And with that, I would like to move on to our next speaker, who is Toastmaster Brijesh Dhyani. He is from Uttarakhand and currently working in Atos as a system engineer in Bangalore, likes to play cricket and football. His pathway is team collaboration and topic is how I got my first job. So before that, I'd like to call his evaluator, who is Toastmaster Abhishek, who is myself. Okay, so he'll be attempting his pathway team collaboration and his topic is how I got my first job. And timing is 5 to 7 minutes. So over to you, Toastmaster Brijesh.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek, for giving a better introduction about me. So, good afternoon to all present Toastmaster here and guests. So, myself Brijesh Dhyani, I am from Uttarakhand and currently working in Atos as a system engineer. And my hobbies is to play cricket, football, foosball. And today I'm going to speak about how I got my first job. So after 12th, it becomes very difficult task for me to get a job, or I can say a good job. So I want to ask Toastmaster present here and a guest, so it becomes for you also a big task to get a first job? Yes, no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So it's good. So after 12th, I pursued for a graduation as a BA. So I comes from middle class family, and their culture is like after 12th you have to do job and good money for better lifestyle. So in my village is a very small village, first of all, and there are only 80 houses, and all mentality of boys there is to go Indian Army. So I also followed that same path, and I also want to go in Indian Army. So I tried first time for Indian Army in 2019. So without practice, I gone for a race and I got failed. So that's my first attempt for a race, but I don't have any regret about that because I have not practiced and not done any hard work. So again, I tried second time for a Indian Army race in 2020, and again I got failed. Same result, because the reason was that this time I had done hard work, but I got sick, means fever and cold that time before 5 days ago. So I could not make it, means I have not selected that time. So again, I got failed by 10 seconds. So again, I was like very sad and thought that I will not go for again for that attempt for a Indian Army. But once one of my friend came to me and he suggested that one more chance you have to give to you to go in Indian Army. And I said, okay, yes, I will try once more. So from that day, I practiced more and done very much hard work for race. And I have ran like in a day 2 times, evening and morning. Both time I'm doing hard work and running like very much, means around 7 kilometers in morning and 7 kilometers in evening. So lots of hard work I'm doing, but the twist came there that COVID came in 2020, and in 2021, the army forms does not came, and I was shocked that what will be the next, because I don't have any plan for what will be my future, like what I will do. And my village people also started asking my family that what he will do now that army forms are not coming. And so, and I'm from BA background, so there seems that BA person cannot do anything in my village. Thinking is that, so it's very difficult for me that time. So I spoke with my brother who was in IT company and HCL at that time. So he was a software engineer. So I spoke with him and I told about my story that I am from BA background, and that how could I get a job, good job that will help my family, because my father lost his job and due to COVID. So no one was in family to earn money. So that time, so he asked me that, do you have any interest in IT? So I said yes. And even though I don't have any knowledge about computers, how it works and how we can operate them, operate laptops and desktop, that's all. So I said to him direct that I don't have any knowledge about computers. So he said, you go in a work in a shop, computer hardware shop, where you can get a knowledge about computers, laptops, and that's Windows operating system. So I worked in a shop for 6 months as without getting paid a single money. So after 6 months, I left that shop because I'm not getting more knowledge and not getting any money. So we want money to get a good lifestyle. So money is very important. So for that, I applied for many IT companies after that, but I got always rejected. 4-5 times I rejected. So after that, my brother's friends gave my reference in Atos for a nexting tool, which I learned from Google, which was suggested by my brother only, that nexting is a very demanding tool in IT, so you can learn and get a good job. So reference was given by my brother's friend, and I got a call from HR for first round, and I successfully selected in first round. And second round was on that day in 2022 when my army race was there. That time I have two options to select, either race or either IT. So I've selected IT, and that's how I got my first job. That's it. Over to you, Abhishek. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bridges. And as this is an icebreaker speech, then please give a standing ovation to Toastmaster Bridges.
Thank you all.
So that was a wonderful speech. And with that, I would like to move on to our next part, which is evaluation section. And I would like to call the first evaluator. Toastmaster Minal, yeah. So over to you, Toastmaster Minal.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, everyone again. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Toastmaster Lalita for first completion of first project of level 3. Congratulations, Toastmaster Lalita, for that. I believe you were able to implement your learnings about persuasive skills from Toastmasters. And the reason being that I felt by the end of your speech, you were able to persuade audience with your opinion, your thoughts on importance of water. So great job on that, sticking to the theme of your project, which is persuasive skills. Let me start with the best part that I liked about your speech, and that was audience engagement, quote unquote. And I believe everyone would agree with me on that. You cracked it. You started your speech with a question, and then I think after, like, as you progressed in your speech in bits and pieces, you were constantly interacting with the audience. I think that's a great way and a great job that you had done. Great way to keep audiences' attention to what you're trying to say, because ultimately the objective of your speech was to persuade audience with what you believe in. So I think kudos to you on that. Second thing that I liked about your speech is the structure of your speech. So you started off with why water is important. And then secondly, you supported that with some actual facts. So I think the brilliant skill of a speaker is, if they're trying to persuade audience with their opinion, they have to always support it with some actual facts. And I think throughout your speech, you did that. You provided references to what you believed in. I really like that. For instance, you mentioned the reference where you read X and X amount of, water intake is important for a person on a daily basis. So you understood that this is something that I'm trying to convey, but to gain people's confidence in what you're saying, you also supported that with the references and the facts. So kudos to you on that as well, the way that you structured your speech in order to persuade people. Third thing that I really liked about your speech is the objective of your speech was to persuade audience with what you believe in. Now, it's the duty and the responsibility of a speaker when they're trying to convince audience of something, they tell the audience about the pros and cons, both of it, right? So you conveyed to the audience the implications of excess of water intake. You conveyed to the audience the implication of dearth of water intake. So you covered both the sides of the story. You told the pros and the cons of the subject of your speech today. So I really liked that part as well. Overall, the way that you had structured it. In the end, I would like to mention that any good speaker, any convincing speaker, if you all look around in your circle, is the one who conveys and tries to persuade audience with what they believe in. But in the end, they always leave it up onto the audience to see what is good for them. And that is what you did. You started off with why water is important. You supported it with different facts. But in the end, you left it on the audience to understand that what is good for their body and how much of water intake is important for them. So I think this is a good skill so that it doesn't look like a forced opinion, but it looks like something you strongly believe in, and then you left it upon the audience to know and understand what's better for them. So I think overall, in terms of the structure of this speech, I think great job done, and you were definitely able to persuade people with what you believe in. A couple of things that I felt that you could have worked on is on your ending. I think your ending of the speech went a little bit flat. It just ended abruptly. I think a good speech is where your beginning is with a bang and you end your speech with a bang. So your beginning was great, but I think the ending of the speech sort of was a bit of flat. And second thing that I would want you to work on is in between your speech, I think I did feel that you were using a bit of fillers. For instance, like, so the best way to prevent that is to prepare your speech beforehand in a much better manner, so that when you're actually delivering your speech, you do not have to think of filler words to bridge the gap. With that, I'd like to conclude my evaluation, but I think overall, a great speech. Kudos to you on that. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenal. And I'd like to move on to next evaluator, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abhishek. I'm here to evaluate our guest Toastmaster, Toastmaster Karan, and I would like to thank him for taking us on his journey in his icebreaker speech. The speech started with a date that we all are very familiar with, 15th August. And the next thing that I was expecting was 1947. It was 1991. So that definitely made me think, okay, I have to pay close attention to this speech, because it is not the independence that I was expecting. It was a journey of the speaker's journey. It was a wonderful opening, which got everyone hooked at what is he going to say next. You started with a vivid imagination that on this day, while the world was celebrating Independence Day, there were two couples who were in a pain, who were struggling with something. And it took us on that journey, that how they took you to the hospital and you were born. You talked about a lot of things. You talked about how you were named from the legendary character Karn, who is famous in Mahabharata. But that was not the only character trait that you have shown. You also displayed that you were the second Akshay Kumar with your kicks and punches. Your overall speech had a good quality of humor, which made everyone hooked up. And everyone was like, oh yes, yeah, this is something I would definitely pay to watch, because that was a stand-up right here. You also made sure that everyone in the meeting room is included in your meeting. When you translated your Hindi dialogues, when you translated math into English, so that everyone who is not so comfortable with Hindi does also know what is going on in the speech. Now, there are a couple of things which I think are not so good in your speech and could be improved. There are some great usage of words, actions, body language, eye contact, but there are some things where you still have a great scope of improvement. First of all, the first thing that I found most distracting in your speech was this. Your entire body throughout your speech, you were jumping from one feet to another. It was not this side, this was just like this, slight jumping. And this jumpy motion shows that you are nervous, you're not confident in what you are speaking. But it was a topic about yourself and no one could know it better than you. So this is something that you can improve. Second thing is, we have a wide stage area. But what I noticed was you were standing in a block of 2 by 2. That would be good if you were in a TEDx speech, but right now you can make use of this entire space. That the couple carried the baby to the hospital and there they delivered it. Make use of the space. And it will help you to generate more confidence in your own speeches. Another thing that I noticed is the speech at some points was a little fast-paced. You were going like sharply that you are going to reach some station, but that was not the case, right? You are here to deliver a speech. You are here to take us on the journey. And if you run fast, we will miss the train. So let's try to improve on that. And another thing was eye contact. I know this is a very precarious place to stand in, and your eye contact was constantly moving, like pacing from here to here, spanning, and then back to this place, like a fan, table fan. But what you could have done is you could have focused also on the screen, because that's where the camera is and that's where the people on the screen will look at you. And you could have spent some time looking at one direction, then move to the other. And that is something. But I like the ending that your journey has been remarkable and will be remarkable in the future. So thank you for taking us on this journey and thank you for your icebreaker speakers. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay. And with that, I'll move on to our next evaluator, Toastmaster Visal. So over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhishek. Toastmaster Anjani. Well, the topic for you was consistency is the key to success. And the purpose was that the entire speech needs to be well defined and it has to be a purpose. So it has to be purposeful. I would like to congratulate you because you have achieved both the purpose. Your entire speech was directionally focused on consistency. What I liked about your speech was the various examples you have put in your entire speech. The first beginning of your speech, right? It was itself comparing how today's young generations wish for instant gratification. Whereas in your generations and how you, through your numbers of examples, right? Like the class 10th example, how you have cleared your examinations by being in the fitness journey, you have proven why consistency is important and how you have actually practiced it and purposefully created the effect of that consistent behavior. So through entire examples which you have put in your speech, I think the mission of the objective of this speech was well accomplished. But like every speech, there are a few recommendations which I would definitely want you, Anjani, to improve upon. Number one, your body language was not quite fully visible. So I would definitely request you to establish or set your phone in such a way, if you're joining through online medium, that we all can see your entire body so that we can see whether your hand gesture is perfect or not, and you will have some scope of improvement there. Secondly, I would say you referred to some previous speeches which you have given in this club itself. But Anjani, there were few members who are new. They are guests, right? Who were not there in the previous meetings. So they might not be able to collect what you have said in that meeting. So my request would be to make your each speech very special, very unique, and it should be complete in its own manner. You don't have to refer to your previous speech. It should be complete in entirety. Lastly, I find that your speech conclusion was a bit abrupt. I would definitely challenge you to challenge yourself basically and have a good call to action towards the end of your speech so that the audience in this room, online as well as virtual, they can all take something from this consistency, this beautiful topic, and they can apply in their life. So a call to action was missing, which definitely I would request you to try in your next speech. Overall, I like the examples which you have given, the energy which you brought to the table, and the overall constructions of your entire speech. With that, I would like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Abhishek. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Visal. And with that, I'd like to move on to our next evaluator, Toastmaster Sankhya. So over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya. The voice is not audible. Voice is not audible. I think.
Yeah, I was not speaking. I was just adjusting my laptop. Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhishek. And my target speaker, Toastmaster Mansi. So Toastmaster Mansi, you have come up with a story which is quite interesting and exciting. What I really like about the story is how you started off with the flow, that everything is related with the sapling and what is on the plastic, the chemicals which is using. But when I see the flow of the story, that was really, really nice. You started off with your journey, then how you come up and what kind of invitation you got, and then you saw that the people over there who are very interested to use the saplings, and every employee's name was there. So that was a very beautiful story which you come up with. Now, at the same time, the good things which you have also inculcated in your speech was the usage of the props. You showed the bag, you showed the garbage bags, which we can easily correlate that, okay, that was the time when you used this bag, and everyone can imagine on that. Now, if I can come up with how you started off with the entire story. Now, there are a few points on which this story could have been improved on. Number one, in terms of the body language, you are sitting throughout the meeting, which gives a very, very limited option to move around. And there was no hand gestures, there was no movement of the body. In terms of the vocal variety, you have a very nice and soothing voice, which was very, which is very much the way you speak. But however, since it's a script and that you have to play around with the characters of your story, that will give an extra edge on that. And third, but not the least, is very, very important one, which is the script objective. The objective of the script of the speech requires that you have to come up with a story which is about your leadership journey. But nowhere in the story I could find any option for the leadership. You spoke about the initiative which you took, but as a leader, what did you do? Because the entire story revolved around you as an individual contributor role, I would say, but there was no story on the leadership. So if you can come up with the story as well, that will be awesome. So overall, Toastmaster Mansi, if you can, your story was good. But however, it is not relevant with the speech objective, but at the same time, it also inculcate a lot of engagement with the audience as well. But keeping in mind the points which I have mentioned, if you can add that as well, that will be super awesome. So with that, I would like to pass on the baton to Toastmaster Abhishek.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. And I'd like to move on to our next evaluator, who is myself, Toastmaster Abhishek. So I'd like to evaluate Toastmaster Bridges, who spoke on his icebreaker speech. And the purpose of the speech was to introduce the member to the club members and learn the basic structure of the speech. So Toastmaster Bridges, you clearly met the objective. You introduced yourself and you're able to come up with different examples throughout your life when you got your first job. And you explained properly, like you struggled in the army, you attempted 2 or 3 times. Then after that, you attempted software engineering or something, and you also tried a lot of things. So all your journey you explained properly, and that was well explained. However, the lot of points which you can learn over a period of time. And when you join Toastmaster, like second speech, other speech, then I think you learn the basic structure, like you can divide each thing in different example. First part, then one instance, second part, third part, fourth part. Then you can break down everything. Then you can add something more to your body language, eye contact, vocal variety. All these things you can gradually improve over a period of time. Overall, it was a wonderful speech as an icebreaker speech. And I also related a lot of things, how you struggled and how you were able to overcome those things. So very much, I appreciate your speech. And to summarize, you can work on different things and you'll be a good speaker. So with that, I would like to complete the evaluation section. And before I call on our unofficial general evaluator or observator, I would just like to take 1 or 2 minutes about today's theme. So in today's theme, a lot of people might be thinking why I need to do. I think why it's important for you. So how many of you like to party whole day or like to enjoy whole day? Have you
enjoy? Yes, party.
Party, like have you tried like alcohol something whole day or whole night? So if you feel that, I'll tell you one thing, important thing, that all this, whatever enjoying external pleasure, the same amount of, it releases an hormone, correct? Oxytocin or dopamine, whatever. So our rishis and other people, same type of hormone can be released with meditation also. because I used to party whole day. I partied whole day, whole night and 24 hours. So because then I thought that it's not everlasting. Like why I need to drink every time, it's not everlasting. So then I tried some breathing techniques, yoga, and some meditation. Then I think I'm enjoying more. Then I tried like 2-3 hours. I tried one day because of some of my projects, it was only I had to work 3-4 hours. It was Netherlands client. Then I got an opportunity, and for 6 months, 2-3 hours, 4 hours, are just enjoying. So you will enjoy, and then you will feel like this is a different world. And it's not about this also. For career perspective also, if you go into quantum physics, so every human being, it's an atom, a particle, okay? And the way the quantum physics works, that whatever you vibrate, you'll not get whatever you pray. You will get whatever you vibrate. Whatever you vibrate, you'll get that one. So you'll see the whatever people you're attracting, it comes from your vibration. People like positive vibration, whatever, you'll get the same situation, same company, same people. And if you are getting negative people, that means you're vibrating negatively. So all these things you can learn, and more things you can try to experience. And with that, I'd like to call our general evaluator and observator, Mr. DTM Raj. Please join me to welcome DTM Raj.
You can go there, so that I can see you also. Thank you. Nice to be here and be a general evaluator. Because it requires a lot of focus. If you see my notes, I would have made some 3 to 4 pages of notes. And I have to listen, I have to observe, and I also need to give feedback. Why this role as general evaluator is how we behave as a group. When you speak individually, people look at you for what you speak. When you evaluate, people look at you for what you evaluate. When you do individual roles, people look at how do you do your roles. But nobody looks at how do we behave as a club. Right? At the end of the day, when we are happy in a family, we know the entire family is behaving well. If you are not happy in a family, something is not okay in the family. So general evaluator is a role. We look at overall how the club is and how the club can lift itself. One of the important aspects of Toastmasters is how do you have quality club meetings? Each one of us come to Toastmasters with an agenda. I come to Toastmasters for something to be taken from here, whether I am getting that here. And for me to get that is the environment. What is a Toastmaster mission? To provide a mutually supportive environment. Is the environment mutually supportive? That is what a general evaluator looks at, and how the structure of the meeting can become mutually supportive. Assume I'm allowing Abhishek to be behind me and I stand in front of him. I'm not giving him the opportunity to look at me. What is important in Toastmasters is you have to establish eye contact. I can't establish eye contact with every one of you at the same time. But you can establish eye contact. Every one of you can establish eye contact. When I'm not seeing you, you can still see me. The very fact that you see me intensely gives me energy and I can give it back to you. So the first and foremost in Toastmasters is energy. So when we give our speeches, when we give our assignment roles, when we introduce ourselves, whatever we do in Toastmasters, throw your voice. Ensure that there is energy in the meeting throughout. That's where I give a mutually supportive environment. The second is applaud. Many times we feel applause is something very childlike. What? Every time they applaud. I remember my first meeting in Toastmasters in 1999. I went as a guest to Sunshine Toastmasters. It was happening in Alliance Francaise. And they gave me a table topic. Table topic is one more session in Toastmasters where they do a topic or a situation or a line or a proverb. You have to speak on it for 2 minutes. You don't know what it is, you come on stage, then they give you and you speak. So they gave me a topic which was called, why is a boxing ring square? Okay, I was all surprised by like all of you. When I walked into Toastmasters in 1999, I was already 35, 36, right? So I thought I can speak. So when I went there and stood there, I stood there for 2 full minutes, complete silence. Complete silence. I could not utter a word. As I went back, everybody applauded. There are 35 people in the audience. Everybody applauded loudly. For a moment, I was wondering whether they are encouraging me or insulting me. Correct? And you don't learn by your mistakes, right? So the table topic master asked the audience, I have one more topic, who would like to take? Without thinking twice, I raised my hand again. And I went there and stood there. And this time I could repeat the topic twice. Whatever they gave, I repeated the topic twice. After that, it was complete silence. Once again, I went back. Once again, they applauded. Okay, I was sure this time they are insulting me. But in Toastmasters, applause is the only way you recognize. For all the struggle, I would like to tell people, let me take this opportunity to start with the Sergeant at Arms. Where is my Sergeant at Arms? Right, you started the meeting. You had your mobile phone and you are reading through your Sergeant at Arms. What happens if you don't have the mobile phone and speak from your memory? Our fear is, what if I forget? What if I stutter? What if I stammer? What do I miss the words which I prepared so nicely back at home? Miss it. Whatever I'm speaking now, I have not prepared even one word, what I'm telling you. The only way to learn in Toastmasters is don't look at your script. Just speak what you have prepared already. Maybe you'll miss it, maybe you'll forget it. Nobody except you knows it. So you can say anything you want after that. Nobody will be able to find it. So the first thing in Toastmasters is stand, look at, position yourself comfortably. When you look at it, the first thing I position so that I can see all the people and everybody can see me. Take some 2 seconds to position yourself. As you're sitting there, you know you'll be called for something or other to speak, which means you have to find your position. Especially in an informal setting like this. Generally, settings will be like a theater setting. The speaker will go in front of the audience and all of you are comfortable to go there and speak. In this setting, it's a hybrid mode. You have to have a camera there, so you have to have a different setting. But find your position. If the club ensures that there is a position given to people, like you have a small speaking area, a small lectern, a small podium, a single foot podium, so that people know where they have to go and stand. Otherwise, everybody will stand in different places. Correct. So my invitation to my young friend, who is the Toastmaster of the day, Pranav. Next time you speak, come and speak without reference to script. We all are good in our language, which means we need to only feel confident about ourselves sharing what we have in our mind. Otherwise, you did all aspects of your Sergeant at Arms in terms of setting the context, giving the rules, what is the club mission, and you had a good voice. So having a good voice and not looking at the audience, you deprive me of a good eye contact with you. And the only solution is reading. Avoid it. That's the only thing. Moving on to my president, Tanmay. I see you, I'm going to give a feedback to you as a president and as well as the evaluator, both together, because I see you very passionate about this place. And I see you also enthusiastic and committed to what you want to do here. That shows in every aspect of what you are doing. You are taking care of all small things and ensuring that things are in place. This is what a president should do, because he has to govern what's happening here. It's like gravity. Gravity governs everything around us, but nobody sees. We take it for granted. Right? So the role of a president is ensuring that things are governed in this place as per the norms and policies or values of Toastmasters. And your commitment to this place is something very nice. And I request you to continue. That is the only thing which will sustain this movement called Toastmasters. You do what you are supposed to do the best. Don't bother about whether other person is doing or not. The more you commit yourself to this place, the more other keeps inspired by the way you are presenting yourself. A job very well done. You are engaging, you are asking, you are interacting, you are making all of us comfortable. You are engaging with the people online. So wonderful job, both as a president and as an evaluator. Give a round of applause. I'll come to my master of ceremony in the end. Let me move on to my evaluators. Evaluators, all of you did a good job. I could see a sense of appreciation, right, coming from all of you. I see a sense of positivity emanating from all of you, not a tone which was discouraging the speaker. That's the first and foremost for every evaluator to emulate, because it is your view. Never you say we feel. If I say we feel to a speaker, we feel you could have been better in your voice man, which means you feel that entire group feels. No, it is my feeling only. So I could see every evaluator very clear and specific to what they felt about the entire speech. They were encouraging in what they were saying, and the recommendations what they gave is also excellent. So thank you, evaluators. Continue a good job of what you are doing. It is encouraging the speakers, and it is also giving what Toastmaster means to give feedback to a speaker. Give a round of applause to all the evaluators. Moving on to my speaker one. Right, I was first surprised. Do we have an app for water drinking? We have an app already here near our throat, which is called Thirst. Correct. I was wondering, is there an app? I am a device challenged guy. I found difficulty in coming to this place, not able to use my maps also. Correct, an old timer. Correct. I go by my sense of direction rather than maps. So I'm only saying, suddenly she's speaking about a water drinking app, and how many glasses of water you drink. I never measured. I never counted. I was born brought up in a place called Chennai, where there are 3 climates only: hot, hotter, hottest. Okay, there are only 3 climates there. And I never used to drink water the way you people talk about 8 glasses, 2 bottles, 3, I drink when I was thirsty. We used to play as children in the hot sun from morning 7 o'clock cricket match starts till 2 or 3 we play in the hot sun, and the entire ground will be barren. Okay, no trees also to stand. Even if you are not playing, batting or fielding, you will be standing in the hot sun only. There is no place, no pavilion concept. Correct. There also you don't have water, sort of drinking water, taking bottle. Now everybody is carrying a bottle, whether they drink or not. Correct. So I was surprised by your speech. It was a very nice speech. You, the only suggestion to you is, one is throw your energy. Bring a lot of energy in it. If this is what I'm giving to one speaker, I apply to all the speakers. Bring in energy to this place. Speak loudly. The person in the last row should be woken up from his Sunday morning drowsiness. Bring a lot of energy. How many glasses of water you drink? Use for a moment, right? I could see why this guy is shouting at me, right? I'm only saying, bring that energy. They should wake up. Correct? I'm saying, let the energy, throw of voice be appropriate to the room, but let it bring energy. I'm saying, let it not be apologetic. When you don't bring energy, it becomes apologetic. It becomes uncertain. Second, since you're doing a persuasive speech, when you prepare, write what you want to persuade the audience about. And finally, before you leave, ask a question to the audience to check whether they are persuaded. Your objective is, if your objective is making the audience to drink water, or not make the audience to drink too much water, or don't follow an app to follow your thirst. You have to be very clear in one objective in your persuasive speech. Now tell me, will you follow the app for managing your thirst? They will say no, then your objective is achieved. So your persuasive objective should be very clear, only one statement. There are multiple persuasions possible. Take one, pursue one and close it. That is a session. Second, Karan, icebreaker, you were animated. We could see that from the way you acted like Akshay Kumar, authentic, enthusiastic and spontaneous. Continue this. These are the 4 qualities of a good speaker. Please continue this. Be yourself. Just move a little back from where you are standing so that you can establish eye contact with her, because she was not establishing eye contact with you, only head contact she was establishing. So she was trying to imagine your face will look like this. Okay. I could see the struggle in her. So that's the only suggestion to you. Position yourself. And I also see this new, what we did our DTM, I did DTM twice. When you do a DTM now, there are different manuals. You do personal mastery, presentation mastery, something planning, a lot of things are there, right? So in every project when you start, there'll be an icebreaker. Don't do the same icebreaker like what you do here. Like every time it need not be 15th August, because you are expected to do. Maybe you can have a variation of 15th August, but I'm saying, but don't do that. My suggestion, invitation to all the Toastmasters here is, when you're taking up a new path, let your icebreaker be relevant to that path, not your life. Anyway, it will come from your life. So if you say presentation mastery, your icebreaker can be how your presentation was very good or messed up or not so good. And that can be some snippets from your life, so that it gives an intro into presentation mastery and what you want to achieve through this path finally. Maybe that can help you to also focus on this path rather than a general icebreaker. Otherwise, a great speech. Give me a round of applause. Toastmaster Anjani, he gave a nice speech on consistency, key to success. Only thing is, his video was not, what do you call, aligned or synchronized with his audio. Otherwise, his speech was very relevant. And his question finally, in terms of what is consistency in Toastmasters, was also very nice, where he could brought, when you attend meetings regularly, that is consistency. And moving on to Toastmaster Mansi, speaking on leadership style, the evaluator has given a very clear evaluation and recommendation on express your leadership style. This is what I was, and this is what I am. She has actually indicated, because many times we think and we don't express properly. I was leading myself like this. Now I am leading myself like this. Leadership is not having 50 followers. Leadership is all about how you lead yourself. I have been leading my life like this. This was my style. Now I changed my leadership style like this. What is happening to that leadership style? This was the impact. This leadership style, this is the impact. If she has stated that, maybe the evaluator, Sankhya, would have been happy about it. Maybe that is what he was looking at. That's a feedback to the speaker. And finally, Toastmaster Brijesh, how I got my first job. Wonderful to know where you are from, what are the struggles, what are the beliefs operating in your environment, correct? And how you could come out of that shackles and create a career and future for yourself. A wonderful speech, nicely given. Give a round of applause to all the speakers. I don't know how much time we have for the tag team, but before that, I'll go to my to a master of ceremony. You had a wonderful topic, and you had very good points to bring forth the topic. Only thing is, your speech time was more than all the speech timing put together. 5 speakers would have taken how much time? Maybe 25 minutes.
Yeah.
You would have taken 35 minutes. Okay, so why I'm bringing this to the notice is because we all like to speak. Make this as an education session on this topic, or give a special speech on this topic. Even then, what we learn in Toastmasters, I have so much to say, how I can make it concise in 5 minutes. I have so much to say, how I can make concise in 2 minutes in my table topics. I have a small thing to say, how I can expand in half an hour and give a presentation. I have a one-line statement, how I can give a 1 hour education session. So we learn in Toastmasters the extremities of how to stretch or compress my thoughts to suit the time. So if we don't practice it, we are missing some vital learning what we can get out of this space. So always time. So in a meeting of 2 hours, right, a master of ceremony can have not more than 14 minutes, which means you should come and go as a catalyst. You should not be seen more than the least of the speaker. Correct. So there is a typical timing guidelines for the entire meeting. Maybe at some point of time I'll share to Tanmay. If you structure it, your meeting will look a little more structured and you get more opportunities for others to speak. Give a round of applause for giving us thoughts, so many thoughts on this. All the thoughts are wonderful. And tag team, I don't know, we have 1 o'clock already. Do we?
It's 1:10, but everyone's okay, we can stay for 5 minutes. People online.
My suggestion will be all the tag team members, if there is any outliers to the timings, please tell. Otherwise, you can close it everybody within time.
Yeah, sure. Let me quickly share the timing report. So in terms of the timing, in terms of the speakers, so everyone has qualified except for Anjani, because Anjani, the speech schedule was for 4 to 6 minutes, but however, he spoke for 3 minutes 23 seconds. And for the evaluator, Mrinal spoke for 4 minutes 44 seconds when the scheduled time was 2 to 3 minutes. And Abhishek spoke for 1 minute 23 seconds, which is for again 2 to 3 minutes for the evaluator. So apart from that, yeah, everybody spoke on time.
Okay. Our counter.
Yeah.
Our counter, we
Hi,
have to
everyone.
give time. Yeah.
Yeah. So, should I mention or the filler words for all the speakers or just the outliers?
You are a new member, joined today. You have a field day actually. I can't restrict you not to speak. Okay. But still there is a challenge thrown to you. How quickly you can
Okay.
summarize your jottings.
Yeah, so so for all the speakers, I would say, so the filler word "are" was used a lot many times, and the other words, other filler words like "and," "but," and so was used once or twice. But I would specifically, but Brijesh, I would like to say that he used filler words for very frequently, and a lot of filler words were used very frequently. For all the evaluators, I would say. Yeah, so they kept the filler words very limited, as in 1 or 2 filler words in between their speeches. Shanko, I would say the word was used a little more frequently than other filler words. Yeah, so that would be my summary. Yeah.
Thank you. Give a round of applause for a new member. Very nice. Yeah, moving on to the grammarian.
Thank you, Mr. Ramesh. There are a couple call outs in the grammarian part. Let me focus on the good uses of the words in today's meeting, which are
starts now 1 minute only.
focus on inner peace, be consistent. Consistency is the only way to achieve success. I bagged it, and are you ready to bag it? And some of the not so good uses which we can improve upon are new peoples could be new people. I comes from could be I am from. Before 5 days ago could be 5 days before. I get always rejected could be I was always rejected. So please make sure that you are paying attention, close attention to the usage of tense in your sentence structure and structure sentence carefully. Thank you.
Thank you. I had planned a lot more to say today, but I'll close my session here because we have exceeded time. One of the primary things in Toastmasters, start on time and end on time. Correct. Though we started 10 minutes late, we can take the 10 minutes late to close, but still we have to close. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Nice being back here in Toastmasters after a long time. Back to you, the Master of Ceremony, Abhishek.
Thank you, Mr. Ramesh. A big round of applause for Mr. Ramesh. Thank you for enlightening our meeting with your wisdom. And there has been a lot of learnings which we can incorporate in our meetings going forward. From the place of position, like the standing area, to how to structure our entire meeting. And I believe today has been phenomenal for not just the role takers, but the guests as well, because there was a lot to learn from everyone in today's meeting. We are already above time. We started 10 minutes late and it's 13:13 now. We are 3 minutes above 10 minutes. So let me officially close this meeting number 318 with the bang of this fist as a gavel. So yeah, I'm punching myself for this. And the meeting number 318 is officially concluded. Thank you. Now, just to make a quick announcement, let me share my number on board here and on the chat. So if there is anyone, any guest who would like to know more about Toastmasters, feel free to reach out to me on WhatsApp and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And we can discuss about it. And if anyone of you is interested in joining this club, just ping me and we can talk about the process that is there. Okay. And now is the time for guest feedback. How many, is there anyone of you would like to share your experience in today's meeting, would like to call out that what you felt was good and what could be improved? Because there are some who are Toastmasters in different clubs and there are few attending for the very first time. Anyone, online or offline? The clock is ticking. Yes, please.
So the session was very wonderful. Basically, for the people who are beginners, they want to improve their communication. The platform is wonderful. I feel maybe the structure today was a little different. Maybe it can be more interactive in the next session, I feel. And the last improvement can be the arrangement where the speaker can speak in better gestures. On stage, it's like that. But overall, it was very interactive, wonderful, and it was better that so that everyone can take initiative like that.
Thank you, Avisha. Yes, thank you, Avisha, for sharing your insights. And we'll definitely be making note of the standing area for the speaker to make sure everyone is in the clear line of sight for the speaker. Anyone else? And yes, to add to this point, today's meeting was a special meeting for the speeches because there is pending speeches because of club contest and everything. But next meeting, there would be a regular meeting. And I would encourage all of you to join the regular meeting where even the guests are given an opportunity to speak on a topic. And it's fun, believe me. It would be something like why the boxing ring is square. Anyone else? Sangeeta?
I'm a part of another club okay, so I couldn't find a lot of improvements that you could do, but I really like the energy of this place. Particularly, I like the fact that because it's not a corporate club, like you have people coming from different fields and experiences. Like I don't think I've ever met someone from army before. Like so we could actually find like experiences from a vast areas and people with like huge difference in experiences. So that was something that I was also looking forward to, like attending clubs out of my corporate club. So I really like that part. The only thing I could think of is the place for the speaker, but I'm not sure if that is exactly a negative point because that's not always this kind of setting you will see as a speaker. So we also need to learn how to engage an audience who's sitting all around you. You walk around and not just like in one direction, you walk around and establish eye contact with everyone. So that was also a new experience for me, like where you don't just look at one place and you look everywhere and establish eye contact with everyone, because that is generally the kind of setting you like. Let's say you're talking in a place around a campfire, right? You won't always have the audience in front of you. So I won't say that's a negative, but I really enjoyed it. And I like this place, like the view is good. Yes. And it's a morning, it's a Sunday morning. Yeah. So yeah, very good vibes, and I really enjoyed. I hope to give some speech here.
Oh, definitely. And thank you very much. And you are always welcome. And anyone who has friends in any other club who would like to join us for a community club meeting, you're always welcome. There is no restriction on this in this club whatsoever. Only thing is that you maintain the values, you upheld the values and maintain the decorum of the meeting. Like we all have done today, fantastic job. So at the last, a big round of applause for everyone in today's meeting. All right. So anyone else would like to say something, or I would close the meeting? Anyone online? Just like recording is also closed. The link would be closed now. Yes, and thrown out of the room. Anyone? All right. Yes. Yogita, right?
Yeah, I just want to add that the way evaluators were evaluating, no, that was really interesting. And like people don't pay generally attention, but the way you are evaluating and giving feedback is really great. And I hope to give speech one day here.
Oh, that is great. That is great. And we look forward to that day to come. So yes. All right. Now we will close the links and everything. But before that, let's take a quick photo. So I would request everyone to please come in the center in front of the camera and we will take a screenshot. So people online would also be in the photo. All right. People online, can you please come on camera? Wonderful. And sir, you can come in the middle. You are our distinguished guest today. Please come in the field of view.
Request everyone in the online to please switch on the camera as well. Just for a few
Sanjay, you have to take the screenshot today.
I will.
My office laptop has restrictions now. Everyone in the frame, all good. You can come in front. You can come in front. You can take a seat as well if you want to sit. Yes. Yeah. Lalita, please take a seat. All right. Sankhya, are you ready? And let me put a reaction on the screen as well. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Show your hearts. All right. Everyone ready? Sankhya, let us know when you are done. We are still smiling. Thank you very much. And we will take some offline photos as well. So Yes, let's take it off and.
Snapshot from there, if it is possible, yeah.
All right, you can take
Content
it.
guide.
Is everyone in the frame? Vishal, Savitri. Yes, everyone's in the frame. Second. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Sanjay, you can please stop the recording and we will close.